I was mildly surprised at the bigger car count and the conversations from the drivers. We have just about every talent there is here at Bakersfield this weekend.
We did some live interviews down there on the Moxie page, and that's one thing a lot of the drivers are talking about. You come to this event, and you better bring your A game because you're going to race the best there is to race in your region. I mean, this is a big deal, this Budweiser Nationals. Brian, you've been around this track for, 30 years now?
Yeah,
I mean, you've seen
35.
the best of the best. 35. You've seen the best of the best. Now, let's talk about your experience. I mean, you've been here in the track in one capacity or another, whether it's been a crew chief or as a crew member of Childress and, working on the track and kind of just been here growing up. Now this is your first year in the booth as an announcer. Let's kind of talk about the other side of the sport, and now you've got some experience.
It's a life-changing experience, man. It's awesome.
It's very cool. So,
I don't know if we told the story already, but we literally found his voice when Scott and I were talking after Mike Roser passed, and we didn't know we never saw him, and he located him.
The problem was I would go hide behind the sign and
talk.
talk. So it made it much easier to talk to the audience.
Right.
And when they heard the voice, they come to me at the end of the night and say, "Hey, would you like to announce the Bakersfield Speedway?"
From selling hot dogs to being in the Mike Mosier Tower. I mean, that's a big deal right there. That's pretty cool.
I'll tell you what, right now, ladies and gentlemen.
That's cool. So I remember when I brought Josh onto Moxie, and we worked the first few races together of the 2015 season, and
Bank Speedway, the last two races.
Josh is
before that too.
Yeah, Josh is very, very passionate about what we do up here on the mic, and he really gets.
He's got a lot of energy.
Well, he does. He's been a crew chief for a winning modified driver that you guys know, Kenny Miller. Originally from
Kenny
California.
Miller,
he was a crew chief for Kenny. He's good friends with him, and he's worked on several race cars, and he's been around the game a long time. He's a 3-time national champion in the karting ranks, and to get him up here, I said, hey, remember when you were a young driver learning how to race before you won those national titles? And he says, yeah. He's looking at me like, where are you going with this? And I said, remember what the hardest lesson for us as a driver when we're behind the wheel to do is sometimes you got to slow down to go a little faster.
And that's what they say.
I'm still trying to teach him that a little bit, but
hey, man, the guy's got a lot of energy, and I really appreciate it.
We all love it. Josh, he brings a lot of passion to it. And Mike is just about as cool as they get on the microphone. And, he's just a smooth character, man.
Oh, but you put him in a remote in the stands, it's a different story.
I know, he freaks out.
He gets twisted, man.
It's kind of funny because I watched your guys' video on Moxie Media when you was out front the gate before everybody came in and getting everybody all hyped up before the race started. I thought that was great.
Yeah, and you're like, there's the Mike we know, and I'm going, who is that dude?
You think he's at a wrestling match.
I know.
Right. Well, I'm out there having fun with them, trying to get people hyped up for the event, a little hype man action because, if they're not hyped to come to watch the race and they're not pumped up to do it, what are fans? They're just going to sit out there and it'll be like a church.
Like a bunch of zombies.
That's kind of what we do. We've got to be part hype man,
that
part announcer, part historian. We've got to know what we're talking about. And that's kind of the one thing that I think all of us bring to the booth is the experience about being around racing and being able to talk a little bit of setup and what the car's doing as the track changes. And that makes a better experience for the fans in the stands.
Well, yeah. And with the fans, the gates opened at 4 o'clock. They're piling in. We have a bigger audience already than we did last night.
Yes.
Okay. The racing starts around 5 o'clock this evening, and they were waiting when we got here. Brian and I got here. They were waiting. People were waiting to get in, and that was 2 o'clock.
We
got here at 1.
I got here at 12.
Yeah.
Because you had to run back to the hotel. We got here at 12. There was still 6 or 7 people sitting in chairs out there lined up, and I'm like, you got 4 hours before you can come
they
in.
know. They've been here. They know. If you don't have a seat by qualifying, you're not going to get one.
Right.
That's your dedicated
And those
fans.
are those people that have the same spot
every weekend.
Night in, night out. Yep. And it's almost to a point of paranoia where if I don't get there early enough, my seat's going to be gone.
That was me as a child coming here.
Yeah.
My parents would drop me off. We'd be the
same way.
first ones to the racetrack.
We all started the same way.
Yeah.
We all started as fans, one way or another.
That's right.
We were enjoying from this side of the fence down there listening to somebody. Some of us got on the track. Some of us got behind the mic.
Right. Yep.
But it's always been that natural progression where you've got to become a fan before you can do anything else.
Exactly.
Well, the one thing I learned last year when I started out was that these fans, they know what they're looking at.
Oh, yeah.
They know about this. And about a third of them have raced here before. I made the mistake of trying to make something up. Man, that was a mistake.
He got caught in the middle of that deal.
Red-handed.
When it comes to racing,
people know. And
oh yeah,
and it was with a young man.
You try to fool them, You will not fool them.
Well, and that being said, we had one of those experiences last night with a member of the Moxie crew. I won't say his name, but his initials are Josh Warbis. And he, on the mic to the crowd while we were announcing the modified feature, he says, you know what? Hogue ain't got nothing. And I went,
I think he was doing that just to stir the pot.
Did you just say that out loud? And I said, you're not gonna make it out of here alive. He goes down to do an interview in Victory Lane. He comes up and he says, oh man, I shouldn't have said that. He goes, I just got chewed out big time. I said, you're in Hogue country, buddy.
And this isn't true. I wasn't winded because I was running back up the stairs. I was winded because I was thinking that there was going to be beer cans and everything. I got the dirtiest look from this lady, and she probably had to been at least 95 years old, and a spunk of everything. She's sitting down there. She goes, I'm telling you right now, young Sam, this is a Bobby Hogue country. I swear to God. She was pissed. She was ready to go.
Grandma. You know the T-shirt you saw right outside the box here?
That's his
I was talking to him. They're from Livermore area.
Yeah, they're
devout Bobby Hogue fans. And I was just talking with the campers, you know what I mean? And I saw that shirt. I said, were you by the box? And oh, yeah. And yeah, they're like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bobby Hogue ain't got nothing.
I've seen him here many a times, but the first time somebody said Bobby Hogue's got nothing, that man stood up, and I swear to God, he turned into 6'5", 385 pounds, was going to pound a hole in Josh's
That's
head.
probably the guy we talked to earlier out in the parking lot.
Bakersfield fans are devoted.
These
pretty
guys
much like no other.
Well, these guys are hardcore fans.
It's either Bobby Hogue or Brad Pounds or Robbie Sawyer.
Yep. Well, those and all three of those drivers, very, very talented. Yes. Now, the other two, you said, besides Hogue, with Pounds and Sawyer, they tend to stir a little emotion around here and put on a heck of a show for these fans.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I talked with Brad Pounds earlier today and complimented him. He came mired in the pack, and it was real hard to make a pass, but he made a podium finish, a fourth-place finish. And obviously he wanted to win the race. So I tried to slay lightly on that, but I tried to imply to him, you know what, where you came from, and with that type of track and that type of drivers, I think that was a great drive. And
but you got to remember, these guys, if you're not first, you're last.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly
the way
right.
A lot of these guys run. You can start dead last. You can start scratching the field with 22 cars, finish fourth, and they'd still be upset.
Absolutely. So we're going to
I got to go, guys. I got some things I got to do. But we look forward to the race tonight, and I hope all your Moxie viewers I'm sure they will enjoy it on day 2 here of the Bud Nationals.
Absolutely. We're going to have a great show tonight for everybody listening out there on
Sully,
Spreaker. Sully, again, thanks for having us up here in the booth. Brian, let's talk to you real quick. You've been around this track a long time. It's kind of like your playground. Let's talk about, we're going to be broadcasting the late models and the modifieds. I'm going to ask you first, modified field, who do you think is going to walk out of here with the Budweiser guitar tonight?
I don't know. It's a good question. I mean, you got, I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm just going to throw a name out there. I'll say Bobby Hogue.
No surprise.
Well, that was difficult.
I'm telling you because I believe he's won the last 3 or 4. He's got more Budweiser trophies than anybody.
Yes. Well, and he picked up one last night, so that's like number 7 that I've watched him win.
Yes.
Okay, late models. Who's your prediction for the late model?
That's not going to change, probably.
Yeah, that's probably. Well, I don't know. I mean, you got either Clay, Drake, or Hogue.
So you're going with all the homers.
You can't really predict anything right now. It's too early.
It is, but you know what? I said it last night, given what Drake has done here in 2016 at Bakersfield, he has been the guy to beat. So, as good as Bobby is, it's kind of hard to go against history. But, Bobby proved it wrong last night. He picked up a win in the late model. I mean, he was fast.
I mean, he came back right there toward the end on that modified race, and Robbie tried to school him, and then he schooled Robbie back.
That's right.
That
couple that swapping positions at the other end. You know what? I'm not even. I'm going to chicken out here, and I am not even going to make a prediction.
I will
for tonight's late models.
I don't have a problem with it. I will.
All right, Josh. Let's hear it.
You ready for this one?
Modified.
You ready? Modified.
Okay.
You ready for this one?
I know what he's going to say.
No, you don't.
Yep. You're going to say 30.
Oh yeah.
That's not a modified.
Oh, you said modified. Okay,
modified.
Go ahead.
Modified tonight. The 44. No idea who it is.
That's Kelsey Foley out of Arizona.
Kelsey Foley.
Rookie of the year.
And a sport mod. That's a sport mod.
Okay, well, I'm not going to say she's going to win, but
she's a mod? I thought she was an A mod.
Oh yeah, she is
an A mod.
Yeah, she is an A mod.
She's
she
in the
won
Shaw
the Rookie
chassis.
of the Year. That's right. She's running a brand new 2016 Shaw.
Yeah.
Very nice car.
I'm telling you right now. We talked to her. We talked actually to her dad last night.
Had breakfast with him this morning.
Had breakfast this morning. He sat there and he said that they had over 2 inches of toe out
on that
car for the main event. Sat there and it would turn to the left, right front, straight, the left front, all the way into the dirt.
Yeah.
She says, yeah, car is a little tight going into third and fourth. Just couldn't get her to rotate.
She did a good job. She was actually passing cars, but
Yeah, she was.
I'm going to say, okay, if we got to make a prediction for the modifieds, I am going to say I'll agree with Brian. I'll say Bobby Hogue. With that being said, I'm going to tell you to watch 2 other drivers in that field tonight. I'm going to tell you to watch the 111 of Logan Drake.
The 111, absolutely.
Okay, and if you really want to have a good time watching a race, I want you to watch that Superman car of Colin Weinbarger. He drew a 71, and he is starting at the back of his races, and we've got a Moxie camera mounted on his car.
So listen to this. So we had, the folks at home, of course you've been on Moxie already. We've already seen our live interviews with a bunch of people down there. We had our live interview with Colin, and Colin, he sat there and he says, man, he says, didn't draw too good, but he says, you know what? He says, a brand new body. We're going to wrinkle her up if we have to.
He says it ain't going to look new when this one's done. So, Mike, your prediction for the modifieds?
Oh, you're going to put me on the spot
I
here.
am.
Yeah. Let's see. It's going to be tough because we don't know where they start.
There you
That's
go.
it.
That's always
the
the
one you
tricky
wanna look
part.
at.
That's why you got to make your
Because
prediction now.
Traditionally, it's usually one of the ones in the top 10 in the start of the main have the better chance of winning. But I'm going to go with, God, I really can't. I think it's going to be a sweep this weekend.
He's
Ethan
going with
Dotson. No, Ethan Dotson in the 174. Ethan Dotson in the 174.
He's going with Dotson. That's not he was fast last night.
Hey, I was really impressed to see that kid win
That
last
kid,
night.
compared to last year,
And he was
it's
so
like
humbling.
a new kid. It's like a new driver compared to last year because I interviewed him last year.
Hey,
And
I interviewed him a couple of weeks ago. He just bummed out, and he was like a whole new person last night.
The experience that he got from running back east and I want to say the humble pie that he got probably from going back there.
He was successful.
Yeah.
But, okay, let's move to the late models. We got to wrap this up. 5 o'clock is coming quick. We're going to go qualifying pretty soon. We got some A-mods on the track right now, finishing up packing. Late model feature, Brian, I'm going to go with you first.
For the winner.
For the winner, late models.
Not Bobby Hogue. Oh shoot, I don't know, man. It's hard to tell right now. It's like Mike said, it's about their starting position, and I'm gonna go with Clay Daly.
Clay Daly. Wow. You know what? I can see
How much money do you got on that one?
Hey, I'm just stirring up the pot like this guy over here.
Man.
Me and Smith, I'm
Josh?
telling you right now, are going to be best friends.
I can tell already. Josh, your prediction for the late model feature. Hit me.
From the way he ran last night and the momentum that he has going in tonight, the 30.
Okay.
Mr. Shank.
Jeremy Shank.
Jeremy Shank.
Homer.
Mike, your prediction.
Well, I'm going to go something a little off-kilter here.
Okay.
It's not that far off-kilter, but they had a tough time last night in both of their cars that they ran. He's a homer of mine. I'm going 91T Tony Toast.
Tony Toast. Okay.
Dry slick track. The guy knows how to roll a car. Asphalt driver, converted over to dirt, knows how to roll a car through a turn.
You know, I was going to make a prediction on this, but now I'm just going to look like a copycat on this one. But
Bryson James.
I'm going to throw this out there. No, I'm going to throw this out there because, just like it was mentioned earlier, on the dry slick, he's one of the best, if not the best driver I've ever seen on a dry slick track. Ran well last night. I'm going to agree with Josh, and I'm going to play the home card of I'm going to take the 30 of Jeremy Shank. I'm going to play. I know it truly, it really is a long shot. How do you not mention Drake and Hogue as none of us predicted those guys to win?
Right.
We've got three out of four.
But listen to this. Right now, we just had IMCA modifieds go out. Where did you see them run?
There's your girl. All of them on the top.
All of them right on the top.
Way up on the top.
There is absolutely nobody down there on the lower part of this car or of this track.
Yeah, what'll happen, I can almost guarantee it, is they're going to be running real high while the heat's out. As soon as the sun goes out, they'll dive down to the low for a little bit, wear that out, and go back.
Very much for this program.
I want to say thanks to all of our sponsors, Northwest Trucking Academy, Swears Trucking, Crocker's Cars. We've got a great group.
Tommy's
Transmissions. Everybody jumping in. Listen on that, you guys.
Linson Signs.
Linson Signs. All those guys that make this thing
Rugged
possible.
Radios.
Rugged
Those guys
radios.
stepped up
Those
immensely.
guys are awesome right now.
You see those radios? Those are cool. But we want to say thanks to all of those sponsors who made this event possible for Moxie Media. Everybody coming together and to bring this, to the nation. We had over 20,000 listeners in last night's feature.
Yeah.
20,211 feature for the feature, the late
Right.
model.